Hey everybody, this is the Crypto Crow. I want to make sure you understand that I am not at all a licensed financial advisor in any way, shape, or form, and all the content in this video and all other videos on my channel are merely a matter of opinion alone. Make sure you do your own research and you base your decisions on what you find yourself. I am simply stating opinions. If you need any other help or you like any of the contents of the videos that you find, make sure you click the Show More button, which is where you will find a lot of different links associated with a lot of the things that I discuss. I hope that helps you, and I'll see you very soon. Crow your coins.
Just another manic Monday. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Crypto Crow. I'm back after a weekend, and man, Bitcoin is taking a shit. I expected this to happen, though. I'm pretty sure everybody has so far. So before I get started into my PhantomX Masternode that I did officially set up last night, quite happy about it. Man, the market is just crazy. And I saw this happening. If you notice, my eyes are a little bit jacked up. It's from allergies. I always kind of have allergies in the morning. But man, this is just crazy. And I actually tried to sell my Bitcoin. Was it Thursday night? Thursday night or Friday afternoon, expecting this to come down more, because typically Bitcoin kind of rallies during the weekends and then it starts to go down during the week if it's going to go down. And I knew this was going to happen. Unfortunately, the API in Coinigy, for whatever reason, wasn't making a connection to GDAX, and so I didn't get to sell it. Otherwise, I'd be up like $5-6 grand right now if I were to buy back in terms of Bitcoin position anyway. So it is what it is. I'm just leaving it alone. I don't have time for it anymore. Like, just kind of playing the swings and I think that's honestly where we're at now. I think all the way back many videos ago, I told everybody, like, Bitcoin in the market is going to continue taking a shit until mid-February. I mean, I don't think it's going to take a rocket scientist to figure out what's going on. And ultimately, I think what's going to happen is you've got all the Asians watching the market, and it's like, here's the thing, like, even for me personally, from strictly an investor's position, I am at a point where I'm like, okay, so I can, people are trying to decide where the bottom is, right? And the lower it goes, the more of a gamble it is, because everybody knows that when Bitcoin does start to come back, it's going to come back hard. Like, it's going to pop 5 Viagra and it's going to go. Okay. So it's kind of a gamble when you say, all right, well, now it's at 7,500. Could it hit 5 grand? Maybe. Could it hit 6? Possibly. Nobody really knows for sure. And because it's getting lower and lower, it's a gamble, because if you're going to sell your Bitcoin position now at 7,500, expecting it to hit 5 grand, well, it might only hit 7 grand before then it just jumps up to 12,000. I mean, you just don't know. And at that point, you've totally screwed yourself. So personally, I think it's down enough to where I think the bottom is going to be officially met before it starts to go back up, that I'm just leaving it alone. If it hits 5 grand, fine. But it's too risky at this point. It's gone down a lot. Cardano's back to exactly where it was when I first started talking about it, before it hit $1.50 at 33 cents. Neo's down to 87 cents, and I am very, 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 very tempted. I'm going to see what happens if Bitcoin starts to shoot up. I very much want to get myself some Neo. Like, that's just a beautiful thing to me. I do want to see where Steam is. Steam's at $3. I mean, Steam's holding value pretty well. I mean, it's down almost half, but that's really good in comparison to a lot of other coins. I think Steam really is a great project. But I'm still trying to figure out what the hell's up with that. So in the meantime, look, for those of you out there who bought Bitcoin high, don't sell it. Just wait. It's going to come back. I'm absolutely convinced of it. I had this really crazy gut feeling last night, and I'm not even going to go into it, but I would just, I'm very confident that the market and Bitcoin is going to come back pretty strong here relatively soon. So you just got to be patient and just wait it out. I think that we're starting to hit a point now where people are starting to see like the bottom is closing in, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't need to spend a whole hell of a lot of time on it. Like, I'm not freaked out by this at all. I expected it. And, I think the sooner this goes down, the sooner we'll be able to start our climb back up. And that's kind of the way I see it. So I wish it would just hurry up, drop to $5,000 and get the shit over with. But it may not go to $5,000. It might only go to $6,000. Might only go to $6,500. Might only go to $7,000 before it skyrockets. So if you're holding, I would say now is probably a little bit late. Is my guess, to try and improve your Bitcoin position, playing the drops. I just don't, it's too risky. And I do think that that's the sentiment. That's what everybody's waiting for. But once everybody starts to agree that the bottom has been met, people are going to start buying back in. It's going to send the price through the moon. So just got to wait it out, folks. All right. And in other news in the market, I see all these big credit card companies talking about you can't buy Bitcoin with credit and all this other shit. I think it's kind of silly. And it really, I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal because we've got some new players hitting the market between Bittrex. They're going to start taking and selling, running USD pairs and this and that. And you've got Ethos, I'm sure, coming around the block soon. You've got RobinHood that's, got 1 million people in their waiting list to be able to buy Bitcoin and other big currencies with no fees. So, look, there's so much great stuff that's going on right now that, and here's the thing that I want to that I want to point out. If you're watching the news, like if you're watching cryptocurrency news, as soon as you start to see positive articles coming out, that's when you know that it's a good sign that the controllers of it all are, I personally think it's whales. So, but I think that's really when you're going to know that the market's going to start changing. I think so much of this is controlled, and it's sad because, you've got people running TNA, technical analysis and Fibonacci retracements, patterns, and the Elliott wave, and all this flashy stuff. But, how much of that can be really predicted when, the bulk of the market's being manipulated? And that's the thing. You've got so many billionaires in this space now that it's going to take a lot of people putting money in and holding it so that they can't really dictate the flow of the market anymore. I mean, they'll be able to dictate, ups and downs, but not entire market crashes. And the problem is these billionaires are just multiplying their billions by what they're doing, and it's kind of sickening in a way. But, the one thing that we can count on with billionaires and guys that are manipulating the market is their greed. And this is the last point I'll make. The cryptocurrency market is still in such an infancy that, the ability to manipulate the market just means that all that money is coming right back in. I mean, there's no question about it. If I had billions of dollars and I knew, well, shit, now I can get Bitcoin at $7,000. And as soon as I start, putting in my buy orders, I'm going to bring it back up to, $15,000. And then, other people are going to dip in, take it up to $25,000. And then, this time next year, we rinse and repeat and double our gains and all this other shit. That's not going to stop. The difference is how many more people in the general market are going to be getting in alongside the growth of the market. And the more normal people, I'll call them, myself included, the more normal people that get into the space and hold their coins, the more difficult it's going to be to send the market down. It's down 50%, down 70%. So, all right. So I'm going to get out of that. Masternodes. Now, this is something that I have been not necessarily fascinated with for a while, but when I first built my Ethereum mining rig, I was just ecstatic about just learning the process of it all, learning, how does it all work and how much money can be made. And when I first started investing in ICOs, I'd mine up like, I don't know, what was it, like $50 in Ethereum every couple days when Ethereum was worth like $250. And then I would just invest that into ICOs, and I still have those coins. Like, I still have them, and they've made money. They're making a lot of money. And masternodes, for those of you that aren't really familiar with them, are ultimately, it's all a part of the proof of stake platform. Like Cardano is going to become proof of stake, and with Ouroboros, which is supposed to come out in March, and I'm so waiting for that. And my only concern, my only hope, I don't know how many Cardano you're going to have to run your masternode. That's what bothers me. I'm like nervous about that. But basically what it is, and I'll just put it down, break it down very simply. Like your mining rig is processing transactions and confirming transactions. Basically, your masternode is the same, pretty much the same thing. But in order to get into a masternode or to set up a masternode, you have to own a minimum amount of the coin that you're staking. So, and for a while, I've been hearing masternodes.online, and I've been looking just because I've been wanting to get into a masternode for quite a while. And but some of them just appear to be just shit, right? Just shit coins, setting up proof of stake networks just for the sake of it. And I wanted to get into something that I just didn't know what. And I was watching an interview with Charles Hopkinson recently on Crypto Grinders. And he had mentioned a coin about like really good technology that's getting ready to get started called PhantomX. Wow. I started doing some digging and realized PhantomX is a masternode proof of stake coin. And you can start a masternode with 20,000 PhantomX coins. Sorry. And I'm like, okay, I'm all over it. So PhantomX is actually it's a privacy coin that you can get right now for about 8 cents. Okay. Now, the only problem is it's still new and it's still limited in terms of where you can buy it. And the easiest place I found to pick it up is the stocks exchange. So if you come here now, before I get into that, so last night it was 7 cents. Unfortunately, I think I drove the price up and I bought my 20,000. Actually, I bought like 20,600 something. Well, I actually have it. I bought 20,682. I still have 682 sitting on the wallet on the exchange I bought it from. Now, it actually got to 30 cents, 34 cents. Yeah. So right now it's at 8 cents. And before all this shit happened with the market, it was up to 34 cents. Basically, it was up like 4 times what it is now. And if I'm going into here and I'm looking at, this is calculating your return on investment right now based off of the current price at 8 cents. So right now, it would cost you about $1,700 to set up this masternode to buy 20,000 of these coins. There's only 234 of them going right now, which that's also a pretty good thing because you basically share the rewards with other masternodes. Market cap is small. If you go to, where is it? Where are you at? Where are you at there? This is their website. 24-hour volume is only $5,037. Now, super fast transactions, security and anonymous, growing community. I want to kind of contribute to growing this out. No, I haven't been paid anything for this at all, folks. This is just me being a hobbyist, okay? This isn't even necessarily about me saying, hey, this is going to make you rich. But masternode coins are known to make people a lot of freaking money as the coin grows. And these guys are just getting started in their roadmap. So this is getting in early. I mean, and that's why I jumped all over this because this has been what I've been wanting to do for a long time now. So, I mean, there's still a lot of stuff that they're working on, you know, moving into 2018. So you're literally just getting in at the ground floor of this. These are the other exchanges, South Exchange, Outlet Bit. I don't even know what that is. I didn't mess with any of those. I just set up an account at stocks.exchange and I bought them there. And I didn't have any problems, just so you guys know. It's an X11 algorithm, proof of work, proof of stake, 50 million max coins available. So it's a pretty small total availability. And then you have the white paper here. These are the wallets that you can get. Raspberry Pi. I set it up on my Windows VPS with Vermoc, actually, and it's running very well. So that's that. So now let's get into setting it up, shall we? In case some of you guys decide you want to get into this. So here's what I've done. Let me figure out how to. I need to share my. All right. Oh, son of a bitch! Wait. Okay, I'm like, was I doing this the whole time with a jacked up window? All right, so I need to try and share my desktop because I'm going to kind of show you. I'm not setting up another live masternode, but I'm going to kind of walk you guys through it. Because there's some little things that threw me off last night and scared the shit out of me. And I'm like, oh my God, did I just lose everything? I want to make sure you guys don't do the same stuff. All right, so basically what I want you guys to see is I'm actually on this page here for the wallet for Windows, setting up everything. So let me close this. So I basically went over here to Guides, Wallet, and Masternodes Windows. Okay, and then once there, so that's the same thing. Okay, so one of the first things that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come over here to this exchange. You set up an account, transfer your Bitcoin, and purchase the PNX. I would suggest you buy. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, because there's not a lot available. It's not like you might be used to with like a really big coin and there's like 30 million of them being sold. There's a limited supply. There's not that many. So like what I found last night is I actually kind of pushed the market up to the 8.5 cents or 8 cents that it is. When I first started buying the coins, I was finding them at 7 cents. And so because I had to buy 20,000 of them, by the time I was done, I was paying almost 9 cents for some of these coins. And it's kind of more has been added since last night. I'm impatient. I wanted to get this set up last night. I didn't care if it cost me a few pennies more, whatever. And I knew I was doing a video on it anyway. And so it was kind of more just an expense for me to do a fun video for everybody. So, and I ended up having some left over because I figured, well, I'm not going to transfer my Bitcoin out of here, and there's no other reason for me to be at this exchange other than to get this coin. So I figure I'll just get it. So anyway, so you're going to want to get the coin. You're going to want to get your PhantomX, and then just let that sit. Okay. So once you have 20,000, you're actually going to want to get like 20,005 maybe, just to be on the safe side. Okay. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to download the latest version of this, okay? So, shit. I'll have to try and actually edit this video. This is what happens. I've got an Achilles heel, whether I'm doing things early or I'm doing things late. Late, I'm yawning like hell. There's something about talking a lot that just makes me yawn. All right. So, here are the files. This is what it's wanting you to download. So that's what this is right here. Okay. Now it's also saying create a new folder on the main unit of C. So it's basically wanting you to create this wallets directory in your C directory. Okay. And then once you've done that, I want you to uncompress this file, this here, and put it in there, which you can't see, but it just copied over. All right, so there we are. So now we have that file in the wallets directory, which should be in your C directory. All right, so the first time, double click the wallet. So we're going to double click. I'm going to start it up. Yes, allow access. Okay, so as you can see now, it's 17 weeks behind, so it wants to sync up. Okay, so now it's saying close the wallet. Okay. And then this part confused me. So we'll close the wallet for now. Like you have an address already, and it's not labeled or anything, but you have a wallet right now. Like this is your PhantomX wallet. It's pretty much that simple. An address has been assigned to it and all that stuff. Well, we're going to close that. Now this part confused me because if you're reading the instructions, you're thinking this is something that you have to do like right now. Step 2, creating a config file. So I'm trying to create a config file, and I'm trying to copy all this stuff and change it and do stuff. You don't have to do that yet. So now this, what you can do is and I'm going to go ahead and do this because this is what I ended up doing. But I need to go. Okay, so we're going to go into the app data. So basically, because it's wanting me to go in here. Let me see. I'm hoping you can see it. Good. Go run. This is the run, and I copied this, and I'm pasting that into this folder. All right. So this is the app data, and I want to find my Phantom folder. Here it is. So this was automatically created when I opened up the wallet. Okay, so now this is in here, but if I just let the wallet sync, it could take like a couple hours. But if I just download the blockchain here, so I'm going to download this, download the blockchain.zip, and I'm just going to let it download here real quick. Okay, so now that we've downloaded this blockchain, it's the latest blockchain file. So we'll open this up, and you can see it's kind of a recreation of the wallets. Yeah, I know there's noise behind me. I timed this video, but I didn't time it to not be interfered with while I had to download that file. So sorry. I am actually looking into a small office right up the street where I'm going to basically build a whole studio, and that's where I'm going to be running my fund, and that way I'll be able to hire some staff and things like that. So I'm working on that right now. That we won't be interfered with by the damn the AC system or whatever's rattling off behind me. Anyway, so here's the wallets file, latest blockchain. So I click into all that, and you'll see some of these files are the same as this here. Here's what we're doing. We're going to highlight all of them. We're going to drag them into the PhantomX folder and copy them over. And it's going to ask us if we want to replace some of this. Yes, we're going to replace those files. Now, the blockchain should only be, I don't know, maybe a couple hours behind. So we're going to go ahead and open the wallet again and see where it is. All right, so it's 18 hours behind, okay? So that's a hell of a lot better than 18 weeks. Man, that ratchety crap is really annoying. Sorry, guys. I wish there was a way I could clean that out, but... All right. So while that's updating, we'll look at some of the next steps here. So updating a block. Man, that's really obnoxious. I guess maybe if I try to just pretend it's not happening, maybe it won't be. All right. So I'm just going to let that run. I'm just going to wait and clean it out. Okay, so now that it's quiet in here and I can get this going. So basically, all you're going to do is you're going to open this up, and this is the latest blockchain folder file. All right, and you're going to double click that. You're going to double click that. You're going to open up the folder that we had open before for your PhantomX. You're going to drag this, just click and drag, and just drop it all right into that box. Okay, right all into that folder. And then it'll copy a bunch of stuff over, and at the last minute it'll ask you if you want to replace these like 5 or 6 files. You just click yes, and that's it. And then when you open up your wallet again, you'll see you're like 18, 19, however many hours behind you are. So that'll need to sync up, but you're fine. So once that starts syncing, you're good. Then, how to create a masternode. Considering your wallet is completed synchronized, so they meant to say completely synchronized. To create a PNX masternode, you need to have exactly 20,000 PNX. That is true. So when you buy your, now you're not doing this yet, okay? You're not transferring anything yet. But when you do transfer it, basically this is what's going to look like. You're going to withdraw. Come on now. What up, though? I'm not sure what's happening. Well, anyway, for whatever reason, this is giving me some weirdness. Something went wrong. All right. Well, anyway, I don't know if it's because I reset my connection. I reset my router while I was connected to this or whatever. I need to reset it. But anyway, when you do send your PhantomX coin to, you're going to click withdraw, and you're going to get an address in here. Okay, I don't have one yet because we haven't created it, but we're going to create an access or a collateral address in here. You have an address. So if you just click receive when you first open it up, you have an address here. What I did last night that was a mistake was as soon as I set my wallet up, I just sent my 20,000 PhantomX coins here. That's not where you send them. You have to create your Phantom node first and send it to your new masternode address. That is what you're staking from. So I freaked out last night because I had it sitting on my dashboard in my spendable funds. I clicked receive, copied that, sent it from the exchange to this address. Everything was cool. By the time I was done with all the settings, we're still not finished. I'm going to show you those. It wouldn't work. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And so I thought maybe it's this address. So I had to send it to here. So I set everything up. I sent it back to the exchange and then back to the collateral address. And it was taking forever. It was like, I don't know, like when I sent it the first time, it was like, boom, it was there. When I sent it to this address, I think it must depend on like the block time and so forth. I thought I had just lost like $1,700 worth of tokens because I thought I sent it to I wasn't sure what was going on. I was starting to raise a little bit of hell on the Telegram channel. I'm like, where's the dev? Who's on? I need some help. Nobody was on. And people that were just giving me like little one-word responses and stuff. And I'm like, damn it. So I just waited it out. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll just check in the morning and I don't know. It'll be okay. And then boom, it popped up and I saw it on my dashboard. And I'm like, thank God. And then I came back here to this window and I hit start and masternode said something like adrenaline node running. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Thank God. I was freaking. All right. So that's a tip for you guys to remember. So in the meantime, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to get your IP address. So you can click here and, what is my IP address? Now, I set this up on my VPS server, okay? And I upgraded. So, like, if you don't yet have a VPS server, there are links under here. Like, for those of you that don't know, when you click show more, I have a whole bunch of links for all kinds of good stuff in my description. One of them is for the VPS server with Vermock. Now, I upgraded mine. So, I already bought. So, when I was using mine for, when I first bought it for Profit Trailer, I had bought the little bit better package because I like having more hard drive space. So I got the 50 gig. Well, for this, I ended up getting like 100 gig just because this thing, like this Masternode, just based off of current numbers, should be making me like, I don't know, $3,000, $2,700 a year, monthly income of $226. Okay. So I'm spending $1,700 to make $226 or $52 a week or $7 a day. Now what happens is that when the PhantomX price goes up because it's being used, people are buying it, so forth and so on, these figures will go up. All right. So yeah, keep that in mind. So me upgrading to, I think it's like a $40 a month VPS, it's nothing. It's no big deal to me. It's worth it. Because when you're talking about downloading blockchains and things like that, I mean, some of these things are significant in size. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't run out of room. On 100 gig was fine. So, and you get a little better specs and things like that overall. So when you're doing these things, you're doing this on your VPS, whether you're pumped in through Team Viewer or remote desktop or whatever it is. You're doing that stuff. You're doing this from the VPS or whatever computer you're setting this up on. All right. So you're going to click, what is my IP address? And then once you have that, you're going to go into, click on the left side, Phantom Nodes. Let me open it up here. Come on, fool. All right. Like, come on, man. It's taking forever. All right. So you click it on Phantom Nodes, click on My Phantom Nodes, which is where we're at. Click on Create. So this is the alias. So this is whatever you want to call your Masternode. I called mine something, but I'm not telling you. I don't think it really matters, but so example node. And then your address is actually going to be your IP address with a port, whatever your port number is. So, you know, your IP address could be whatever. All right. And then boom. And then 8340, like whatever. So you can pretty much use whatever port. You could use the standard port that they tell you about in here, which is 9340. So you can use 9340. I'll change that. And then you click OK. All right. Now, this is obviously an example, but I'm going to go ahead and click OK here. Now I have my collateral address and I have everything set up there. Now, one final thing is you have to click on the button Get Config, change the parameters. So this is what I had to do here. In this folder, I had to create a .config file. So that's right. So you could have done that earlier, but you didn't have to. But what you're doing is you're going to create a config file based off of these figures. So click on Get Config, which I can't do yet because it's not set up. So ultimately what you're going to do is you're just going to click Get Config, and this window is going to pop up. Copy and paste that into a new file. All right. So let's just say I'm creating a rich text document. And yeah, PhantomX.conf. Now, you're gonna what I had to do is I had to open this and edit it with Notepad, with Notepad++. So I'm in the file now, but it's not really what I want, right? So once that edit's over, you're going to actually save as, or wait, or did I just rename? I think I renamed it. Phantom dot. Yes. Hold on a second. This kind of threw me last night trying to figure out exactly. I don't need the pairs properties. Save as. What did that do? CONF. Yes. Okay. Now we have a config file. For whatever reason, you have to. I had to create it in a different file format, and then go in and rename the file .conf in order to be able to actually create the file type I wanted, and then I just delete the other one. So yeah, because that threw me, and it took me a little bit to figure it out. So now when I go in here and I want to edit it with Notepad++, no, I don't need to keep that in editor. So now I have the file. So there you go. So hopefully that's a helpful tip that'll save you some frustration, because I know that it kind of frustrated me. Like, the instructions are okay, but they're not very specific. And some of this stuff I really kind of had to experiment and figure out on my own, which is one of the reasons I'm doing this video, to kind of show you guys what I did. So once this is done, which this is going to take a little bit of time, so I'm just going to try and skip through it. Once that's done, you're going to get this, you're going to see this in here, okay? And when you look, you're going to basically create whatever you want to call your masternode user, your password. You're going to leave all that alone. You're going to put your port, whatever port number that you put in up here, so it'd be 9340. And then this is the line. So you'll have your IP address with your port, and then your masternode key, okay? So what I suggest you do is you copy all that, back it up in another file just to save it, and then once you've copied it, that is what you're going to paste in here. So you're going to click that, and you're going to paste that and save it, and that's your config file, okay? And then you're almost done. Okay, so that's what this is telling you to do. You're just copying, you're pasting that into your config file, you're saving it, and then from there you're going to send your Phantom coins to your collateral address, not the dashboard address. It's not your receive, but you've got this is example node, so this is the one you're sending it to, okay? Once that's been confirmed and it's in there, you should have exactly 20,000. You can't do any more, you can't do less. Has to be exactly 20,000. And when you're sending it from the exchange, you'll notice that you need to send it like that, because that 0.001 is the transfer fee. Okay, so by the time you've sent, make sure, yeah, you can see that. So this is basically what you're going to send from the exchange to your collateral address in your PhantomX wallet. Okay, once that's done and it's all sitting in there, you'll be able to come in here, click start, and that's it. That's all you do. And then every so often you're going to start seeing deposits. You're going to see your spendable limit grow. And that's what proof of stake is. It's going to be confirming transactions and things like that on the blockchain, and it's going to reward you for basically running a masternode. And that's what all this is. It's basically like, you can call it mining. It's proof of stake mining is really what it is. You have to have an investment in the coin to basically, it's like showing support for the coin in a lot of ways. So that's it, folks. I mean, that's how you set up the masternode. If you have any questions, which I'm hoping you don't, because this is like the two little things that I had issue with, I kind of went into detail here. So that's it. I mean, set up your masternode, have some fun with it. Different masternodes are set up a little differently. It kind of depends on what you're doing. But to give you an idea, let's see here, like Dash Coin, you can get an idea. So this is a very kind of, PhantomX is a very mid-level, not even mid-level really. It's kind of a low, it's brand new. I mean, it's pretty new, and it's just starting to pick up a little bit of steam. So no pun intended. But if you scroll down, you can see it can be real expensive to set up some of these masternodes. Like Bitcoin Lightning Network, $10,000. That probably wouldn't be a bad investment. $3 a coin. Return on investment, 2,687% return. Man, I probably should have done one of those last night. Anyway, you get the idea. Now that I'm getting ready to set up my my Bitcoin Lightning Network masternode, there's only 147 of those. Man, that's tempting. So anyway, yeah, masternodes can be fun, guys. So, I mean, get out there and pick one. I mean, they can be as cheap, Arctic Coin. You can set up this masternode for $80. Why not? Just get started into one. And, Bit Radio, this is actually one. It's $570 to get set up. 25% ROI, but I was actually researching this one a few days ago, thinking that might be a fun experimental masternode. You know what I mean? Just to see what's possible. But yeah, I mean, have some fun with that, guys. I'm gonna go start editing this video because so much stuff has been like waiting and coughing and all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna try and clean this up pretty nice for you guys. So and I'll be back with another video about today's news and what's going on. All right. Thanks, guys. Crow your coins. Hopefully this is helpful.